And joined alongside our analyst, Carlo Colaiacovo. Well, we had fireworks to end this inaugural 2024 CHL-USA Prospects Challenge. It came down right to the wire, but it felt inevitable that the CHL would come away with this victory. I mean, they dominated that game at times, especially on the shots. 38-12 of the final tally. But yeah, it came down right to, I mean, this event was a big success.
It absolutely was, Laura, because as dominant as the CHL was in Game 2, what you wanted to see in Game 1, and what you wanted to see in Game 2 was a response in a closer game, and it went right down to the wire. And it was a flair for the dramatics, and it's the unsung hero, Cole Reschny, with the biggest goal he'll probably score in his career up until this point, who's persistent, misses on the first one on the wraparound, stays with it, finds a better lane to the net, and scores a massive goal to the CHL to seal the victory. When you look at Cole Reschny, he's the 14th ranked player on Craig Button's list. I think with that goal there, he definitely now He leaves a sort of a spot in scouts' minds right now, because when they leave, they're thinking of themselves, maybe this guy is made to score big goals just like he did in this game.
Save the best for last.
Save the best for last.
The big theme that we saw in both of these games throughout the entire series was the physical play. Canada versus the U.S. finally getting an opportunity to see that best on best. And what we do know is the rivalry is alive and well at this level.
Well, for the first time, you know, there's a little bit of exploring that goes on when you put together a series like this, especially a two-game series. But I think everything that you wanted to see came as advertised. You wanted to see rivalry. You wanted to see more intensity. You want to see scrums. You want to see guys play with a higher level of adrenaline. And we saw a lot of that, you know, with the scrums after the whistle, the face washes. Porter Martone, the #1 player on Craig Button's list, is trying to fight in this game, something we don't normally see in these type of games. I thought you saw everything, including the dominance from the CHL team, which has a lot of first-round talent on this team. And it was something that, you know, at least for viewers, they enjoyed watching.
The big goal of this event was to showcase these players, showcase their talent, perhaps, you know, improve their stock, their draft stock.
Yeah.
Do you think one Matthew Schaefer did that, considering already he was the best defenseman of this draft class?
Yeah, I just don't know how much better he could have been in these two games, because he was the best player on both teams, and he was in both games. And what you saw was the complete package type of player and everything he has to offer. This guy has excelled in playing in big games, in big tournaments, and creating big moments, just like he did on an individual effort in Game 1, where he shows the finish too. And I think, going into this game, you're put yourself in a position and you want to leave making an impression. And I think that's exactly what he did. And a lot of it is going to be determined, whatever the draft ends up being, what teams are looking for in that position. But if you're looking for a franchise defenseman, Matthew Schaefer definitely is the guy that could fill that void.
And next on the international calendar, on the scouting calendar, of course, the World Juniors, and Canada and the U.S. just happened to be in the same group this year in Ottawa.
Well, that does it for the first ever CHL-USA Top Prospects Challenge, as the Canadian Hockey League take the win in Game 1 and then do it again in Game 2 tonight in Oshawa. Craig, it was a much closer second game that saw Cole Reschny step up to be the hero for the CHL.
You know, there was a number of penalties. There was a parade to the penalty box, and any coach will tell you that takes you out of a rhythm. And so if you're a player that's kind of out of your rhythm, not getting a regular shift, you got to stay ready, and that's exactly what Cole Reschny did, and it couldn't have come at a better time for readiness. And he steps out on the ice. He's a very good player for the Victoria Royals, and he couldn't have picked a better time to pick the top corner there for the winning goal for Team CHL.
He's been terrific for Victoria. He was the hero in the winning effort tonight, and he's standing by right now with our very own Reagan Subban.
Cole, Team CHL wins the first ever Prospects Challenge. What are some of your emotions like right now?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I mean, that was a pretty special event. It was fun. I think we had a great group of guys, so no, I couldn't ask for much more.
This was a reunion for you guys as well. What makes this team so special, and some of your teammates that you've played with before?
Yeah, it's very special. I mean, just getting to, reunite with guys. I mean, we play in 3 different leagues, so you don't get to see each other that often. So just even playing with guys from Helenka, we won gold there, and then some new faces too. It's nice. It's very special to get to play with them.
And what was your favorite part about this challenge?
I'd say just being around the guys. I mean, getting to play with these guys again. They're the best players in the CHL. So no, I couldn't ask for much more.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So there's Cole Reschny out of the Western Hockey League. Craig, there were 2 QMJHL players on the CHL roster, Justin Carlo and Caleb Desnoyers, who was centering on a line with Michael Misa and Porter Martone. He was fantastic tonight, too.
Yeah, well, we heard Chris Millette during the course of the game talk about Caleb, and he talked about what a complete player is, what a two-way player he is, how he plays the game the right way. That's exactly what he does. What a great deflection here off the Porter Martone shot. And, you know, when you get in and around the net, then he shows off the passing skills. What a beautiful play there. But his all-around game, coming back hard, playing in every area of the game, playing physical. Caleb Desnoyers does everything in the game. And when you're a coach and you can look down on your bench and you can see Caleb Desnoyers, that lowers your heart rate, that increases your comfort level, and that's exactly what Caleb gives to a team. He certainly makes coaches feel very comfortable.
We've already heard from Cole Reschny. Now let's hear from Caleb Desnoyers with Reagan Subban.
Caleb, congratulations on winning Player of the Game and Team CHL's first ever Prospects Challenge win. What does that mean to you?
You know, it's really fun. We struggled a bit in the start of the game, but it's really fun to get the win with these guys. We had a really special group.
What do you think the switch was for you guys to get the win after struggling a bit?
I think, you know, it was just to lay down on our work ethic. I think we tried to play too cute a bit, but I think, you know, when we played our game, they couldn't match our speed and our work ethic.
And what did it mean to you to be reunited with a lot of the players that you've played with before?
Yeah, it's always fun to live those moments with them. You know, they're great, all great players and great teammates, so it's always fun to be there with them.
And what did you learn from this experience?
You know, just to be professional. It's always like that, and you see how the level's going up when you play against rivalries like that and against good players like that. So it's just to work hard and play the game simple but hard.
Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you.
So a lot of folks back in Moncton, where the Wildcats play, I'm sure are proud of Caleb Desnoyers' effort in Game 2 and in Game 1 of this series as well. Craig, let's go back to Game 1 as well, where we started things off in London and the CHL took a 6-1 win. Yeah,
well, let's start at the beginning, though, because I don't think there was going to be any question that this was going to be a competitive matchup between the CHL and the USA national team program, and it didn't disappoint. This is how Game 1 started, and when you have that type of physicality, you have competitors on the ice, you're going to have friction, and when you have friction, and it's like a boiling pot of water, sometimes things spill over, and that's what good competitive hockey does. And when you have players that want to resist, you know, what the other team is doing and how they're going to try to push you, Greg Moore, the head coach, said we wanted to be more physical in Game 2, and that's exactly what Team USA did. They found a way to get back in the game on the power play, but throughout the course of the 2 games, they competed. And, you know, they had a chance to take charge of this game. Jack Ivankovic was terrific with 2 massive saves, and then we saw earlier what Cole Reschny did. That wins the game, and it also wins the series for Team CHL. But a really great effort by both teams. And you heard Cole Reschny, you heard Caleb Desnoyers talk about being with the group of guys and the opportunity to play at a high level. And I think that we saw that, and we saw some really good glimpses of what the future of the NHL is going to look like.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Didn't truly know exactly what we were going to get with the USNTDP and the CHL top prospects matching up against one another. We've never done anything quite like this, but we found out how it went over the ensuing 2 games. It was a lot of fun bringing it to you as the Canadian Hockey League take the win in both games, 6-1 in London, 3-2 in Oshawa, to be crowned the champions of the first ever CHL-USA Prospects Challenge.